Welcome back, friends. We're doing 5 beginner griddle meals. Just bought a griddle. This is the video for you. The first one is smash burgers. That's 80-20 ground beef. I put into about 3 or 4 ounce balls. Don't want to go too much bigger than that with the meatballs because you want to smash them down. Get a real nice thin layer on the griddle, and that's how you get your crust. So I'm doing salt and pepper on both sides. That's a little bit of parchment paper. I got my weight there. You could also use spatulas to smash them down. I just have this steak weight, and that's what you want, thin as possible there. Give them a flip. Got my beveled edge dough scraper there, and there's the crust we're looking for. And then you're gonna go ahead and top them off with your American cheese or whatever you like. I like American. That's pretty much it for the smash burger. Super simple, super easy. Something you got to make on the griddle if you just bought one. I double up my patties. Number 2 is Italian sausage with peppers and onions. I put down my Italian sausages first. These are some hot Italian sausages. Then goes down the peppers and onions, the green pepper, yellow pepper, white onion. I'm going to top these off with some marinara, and I'm going to put them in a sub bun. So it's not just sausage, peppers, and onions. We're making a sandwich here. When the sausages got to temp, I went ahead and put them on top of the peppers and onions, just so that the juices could go down in there, get the flavor. There goes down my little hoagie roll to make this sandwich. Man, these are, I'm telling you, it's super simple. I mean, it's just peppers, onions, and sausage. But here's the fun part. So you take your peppers and onions, you make them about the length of your hoagie. Then you take cheese. This is sliced mozzarella I got from the deli. Put that on there. Let it melt down in there with a little bit of water. The steam will come up and help it melt. Then once you melt that cheese, I put my sausage right on top. This way the cheese wraps around it, and then your peppers and onions are on top. Once we do the old Philly cheesesteak flip, that's what I call this, the cheesesteak flip, because that's how they do Philly cheesesteaks. Wow, look at that pull off there. Boom. Peppers, onions, cheese on that sausage. Hit it with that marinara at the end that we put on the griddle earlier in a pot. Don't be afraid to put pots on your griddle if you just bought a griddle, by the way. Sausage, peppers, and onions with marinara. The one on the right had no marinara. It's for my wife. So next we're going to do a chopped cheese. This is like a poor man's Philly cheesesteak. Super simple. That's just like 1.5 pounds of ground beef. There's my dough scraper again. There's some Cheese Whiz out of a can, again in a pot. Nothing's better than processed cheese out of a can, just the way God intended you to eat it, you know, clogging up your arteries as it's going in. Delicious. So I put that in my pot. All I really put on this ground beef is some Montreal steak seasoning. Salt and pepper's fine. I just like to use this steak seasoning. I feel like it gives a little more kick. Then we have a whole white onion, some mushrooms. You don't have to do this much. That's kind of a lot of mushrooms and onions, but my wife loves mushrooms, so we put them on there a ton. And this is just super easy. All you're basically doing is browning beef right on the griddle, adding the peppers and onions in that you saute in together, peppers and mushrooms in, sorry, apologize. And then once you get them all mixed up and the beef is cooked together like that, just put them together, and then we're gonna grab the hoagie rolls. We're gonna put those down next just to get a nice toast on them, just like we did with the Italian sausage. There goes one, there goes the other one. That's the beautiful part of having a griddle. You can always toast your bread. You got to toast your bread if you have a griddle. There's no other way to do it. Take those off, add our meat in there. Look at that mixture. You could easily feed a crowd with this. I'm talking 10, 15 people. Hit it up with the Cheese Whiz that you got nice and melty. That's a good sandwich right there. Wow. Now, on to number 4. Peppers, onions. You'll see a theme, a lot of peppers and onions. That's the beauty of having a griddle. Sauteing these up here. These peppers and onions are actually going to be for some fajitas. That's why the tortillas are going down on that warming rack back there. This is going to be chicken fajitas that we're doing with peppers and onions and the tortillas. There goes our chicken. Basically, I just cubed up the chicken, put a little bit of salt and pepper on it, put it on the griddle, separated out the peppers and onions. Then I'm using, you'll see once I separate all the chicken out to make sure I get a nice color on each piece of chicken. You want them individually touching the griddle. You don't want them piled up or anything like that. So see how I got all the color there? That's because I separated it all out flat when I had it on the griddle, and then each one got a nice color. That's just a plain like 80-cent fajita packet I got from Kroger. There's no need to complicate this thing. Put it on everything, onions, peppers, chicken, hit it with a little bit of water, exactly like it says on the back of the packet. Mix it all together. Look at this thing, man. You got nice little fajitas already made up in your backyard. The chicken looks great. The peppers and onions look great. You've been warming your tortillas on the side. Throw it all together. I served mine with some avocado salsa, sour cream. Easy griddle meal. The last one is what I tell people to make first whenever they get a griddle. I always tell them this is the first meal to make. It's sausage scramble, because A, it's extremely easy, and B, it's breakfast, man. You gotta love breakfast. That's the beauty of the griddle. A lot of this other stuff you can make on the grill, maybe, not all of it, but breakfast, how often do you get to make breakfast outside? Not much until you buy a griddle. So it's half a pound of sausage, chopped it up, let it cook up just like the ground beef. The little hash brown patties, little knockoff McDonald's patties, you just throw those on there and keep flipping them and they'll just toast right up. Separate the sausage out when it's cooked. Start adding yourself some scrambled eggs in there and just let your eggs set up. Just let them set up and cook on the griddle. Keep mixing them in with the sausage. You got like a whole scramble sausage mess type of thing. Once the eggs start to set up a little bit, I like to add in myself a little bit of cheese. I use sharp cheddar cheese for this cook, but use whatever you like. And it turns out great, man. Another thing that didn't quite make the cut was grilled chicken breast. Great on the griddle. I highly recommend you watch the video on your screen right now to see how to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and start my diet next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and keep on griddling, friends.